Hello and welcome to your energy reading for the month of November 2012 using Feng Shui Astrology and the Tarot. Now, in Feng Shui Astrology, the cycle actually changes around about the 7th of November, and we're saying a little goodbye to Heaven energy, but saying hello to Tai Chi energy. And Tai Chi energy is a very grounding, stable influence for us. So that's going to be ruling for the month of November. And it means a number of things. When we think about movement going on, if anything is moving, before it changes direction, there's a little pause and then it changes direction. And it's that little pause, I think, that eye of the storm, that's what we're going to be experiencing with Tai Chi energy this month. It also means that because the Tai Chi is dominating the center, which is where it belongs, that all of us are going to be sitting in our own houses for the month of November. So we're going to be in the house that we were actually born into. So there's a feeling of familiarity, I suppose. It doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to be an absolutely fantastic, wonderful month for all of us. But what it does mean is that we're not really going to be pulled too much out of our comfort zones, unless we choose to, obviously, but we're not going to be forced out of our comfort zones. So it's a really good time to think about stopping, being still for a while, kind of plugging yourself into the universal energy and recharging your batteries, I suppose. It's a great time to just have a look over your shoulder and see how far you've come in the last few months or the last year or so. See where you want to go in the future, make any necessary tweaks to kind of get you back on the right path. It's a really, really good month for doing all of that. And I suggest you do if you get the opportunity, because when we move into December, the energy is going to speed up quite a lot for some of us. So that's your Feng Shui Astrology. In terms of relationships, if you really want to boost your relationships, either existing ones or attract new people into your life, then focus on the southwest area of your home at the moment. Inject a little of the fire element in, so red tones, kind of triangular shapes. If you have a fire in that particular sector, then light it or light candles. Make sure it's nice and light. If you have windows there, then make sure the curtains are clean and the windows are clean, and so the light can come in and really brighten up that area, and you'll see a boost in your relationship energy. If you're more focused on money side of things at the moment, the southeast is the area you need to think about, and really think about putting in some sort of water element. If you've got an aquarium, fantastic place to put it. An indoor fountain, if you like those sorts of things, or images of water using the colour blue will help as well. So that's the area that you need to focus on for the money side of things. Okay, let's have a little bit more detail. We'll look at the tarot. I dealt 3 cards here, and what I like to do with tarot, if I'm dealing for myself, is I often shuffle all the time until cards jump out at me, because I feel that they're the ones who really do have a message. And all 3 of these cards, I kind of kept shuffling until they jumped out at me. And it's quite interesting because we have 2 major cards. Out of 3 cards, 2 of them are major. And when we get major cards, we often, in retrospect, see the energy that they're talking about as being almost life-changing, kind of getting us onto our path, making us turn in a certain direction or make a specific decision that changes our life in the future. So even though the energy, as I've said, is very grounding, it's a chance for us to be still, there's obviously lots of things going on underneath while we're being still and while we're making plans and reviewing what's going on. So let's have a look at the cards. The first one was the Hermit. He's one of the major cards. The second one was the Lovers. We haven't had that one come up before in a reading. Both of those were uprights, and the other one, which is not a major card, was the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, he was upside down, he was reversed. He normally looks like that. Okay, what I want to do is cover him first, because The Seven Pentacles, Pentacles is very much of the earth element as well, very much like the energy, the Tai Chi energy of the month. And, you know, this card is really all about putting in the time, putting in the investment, sowing the seed, so eventually we can reap what we've sown. We can get rewards for our hard work and our investment. And it speaks a little bit about being patient and waiting for things to happen in the time that they're going to be happening. Now, because he was upside down, I do get the feeling that there is kind of a hitch in this process, I suppose. It's almost as if we are expecting certain returns, but we haven't actually done the work. We haven't put in the work in order to get the returns that we're expecting. So it's a little bit like wishful thinking, and I think that's a bit of a danger this month. You know, we are all told, you've probably come across the thing about The Secret and the law of attraction and stuff like that, and we're told that our thoughts can determine our reality, which is very, very true. We can think very good things and very positive things, but we also actually have to do stuff. We have to act and we have to do stuff in order to get rewards. So just thinking isn't going to actually make things happen. And I think this card is all about that. We think, well, if we just wish hard enough, things will happen. But of course, in most cases, that's not true. So that's a real danger. So what I said earlier about using that Tai Chi energy to, you know, kind of sit down, think about where you've come from, where you're going, make plans, and don't just plan the goals and what you want to do, but do the action plan as well and start acting on it and start doing things, because that is how you're going to get a return on your investment. Okay, so that's enough of that card. Let's have a look at these two major ones. They're quite interesting because the Hermit really speaks very much about spiritual things, very much about seeking answers. Often we find when the Hermit comes into a reading that we are seeking answers, but we may be looking in the wrong place. We may be kind of shining our light out there, looking for answers to come to us, but often the answers are kind of within us, and that's really the main message of the Hermit, is to go within, because, you know, at the end of the day, you're the only one who really knows what the truth is for you. Nobody else can tell you in a workshop or in a book or in an audio or whatever. Nobody can tell you what your truth is, and you have to remember that. But what I'm really interested in is this Lovers card, because you know, how do these two fit together? The Lovers card is very much, as we know, about relationships. It often speaks of an intimate physical relationship on the physical plane. But have a look at this card here. Let me hold it up a little bit so you can see it. So we've got the man and the woman kind of chained together. So there's a bond, a commitment there. There's also a third person overlooking this. So, you know, this can often speak of a spiritual love, a kind of a love from a bigger perspective. So a love for humanity, perhaps an unconditional love. And I just think because it's come up with this Hermit card, where we're seeking answers, and it seems to me that whatever answers you're seeking at the moment, you have to focus on what's going on within your heart, which is where the love is created, I suppose. So I don't really get that this is about a physical, intimate, one-on-one love relationship with a person, purely because that Hermit's there. I think it's the focus more on unconditional love, spiritual love, love for your fellow beings, love for humankind. It's a very big picture, and you know, when we are using this Tai Chi energy, when you're sitting back in your own house and you're recharging and you're kind of just getting back to yourself, it's a great chance to go within, to remove any kind of bad feeling or obstacles you have or anything like that, and get rid of all that kind of dross and stuff in your energy field, in your body, and then start to live again from your heart and start to live from a point of view where you're coming from a love situation, an unconditional love situation. And I really think that's probably the message for this month. And, you know, wouldn't it be great if everybody in the world could kind of come from that situation? We probably see a huge shift in consciousness, but maybe we can do it one person at a time. I hope that's of interest for you, and I hope you have a wonderful November. If you need any more details, please have a look at my website, the details at the bottom of the screen, and I'll see you next month.